On my mama, I'ma beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He know. He laughing. I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'ma show you and him. Bet.
At the end of the day, I gave this little guy an opportunity. He should be thanking me. I'm paying him. I'm his boss. He reports to me, and I'm gonna fucking son him on November 14th. So fuck you, little man.
You pay me? Are you paying me?
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Facts.
Correct.
Yes. Correct.
Correct. I'm your daddy.
Jake stood tall here, slamming Davis for crossing family lines. With steely eyes, he warned, "Say that again and I'll bury you in the ground." That raw fire mixed with pride showed Paul isn't intimidated. He's ready to dominate Tank.
You're forgetting to realize that I will be the first boxer and promoter ever in the Hall of Fame for multiple reasons, like at the youngest age. So you're actually a fucking dumbass.
Now experts weigh in on the danger behind this matchup. Even with analysts warning of danger, Tank snapped back defiantly. "Size don't matter, step in with me, and I'll break you down, round by round." But the truth is, Jake's power and size give him the upper hand. Tank can't dismiss.
I think it's a very dangerous fight because we've got a trained athlete who's 18 stone plus against a much smaller guy who really, he's not, he hasn't earned the right, I don't believe.
Teofimo calls it fun, but let's be clear, Jake isn't treating this as just entertainment. He's in for legacy, not spectacle. That hunger separates him from Tank, who hides behind excuses. Jake's seriousness makes this far more than an exhibition.
Jake Paul, Tank. What do you think of that fight? Are you happy for Tank?
Great fight, great matchup. It's fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun, it makes it entertaining. That's what it's all about, and may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless, it doesn't count.
And while Lopez played neutral, Crawford had no hesitation sharing his raw feelings. Crawford's dislike of Jake felt more personal than professional, yet even he admitted Jake's a damn good fighter. That contradiction says it all. Critics can hate the persona, but they can't deny the talent and relentless drive Paul brings.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Shakur sounds frustrated, but his take only highlights how much Jake has shaken the sport. Tank dodging top names to chase Jake shows where the money and eyes are. It's not disrespect, it's proof Paul has become boxing's biggest disruptor.
Ain't disrespectful to the sport if he chooses that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter.
And as fighters debated the matchup, Eddie Hearn gave his brutally honest business view. Hearn admits what many won't. Jake versus Tank is box office gold. Critics can complain, but fans will tune in. Numbers don't lie, and that spotlight is being driven by Jake, not Tank. Business follows him, no matter what purists say.
I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. However you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers. It's just not boxing. And I don't think we should promote it as boxing.
Warren's reminder about Tank's power is valid, but size and strength can smother speed. Jake's shown he can absorb shots, stay composed, and strike back with authority. Against a smaller man, that advantage could tilt the fight heavily in Paul's favor.
Has gone the distance once, but I'm talking about with somebody who doesn't fiddle around, somebody who actually would like to get him in the latter rounds and is capable of knocking people over. He's a puncher.
Bellew tried to dismiss Jake's opponents, but even he admitted Paul is improving. That's the key, progress. Every fight, Jake sharpens his craft while Tank stagnates. Whether critics like it or not, Jake is forcing his way into boxing's mainstream.
Jake Paul ain't making matches to lose. Whoever Jake Paul's picking, he's going to beat him. There's a reason why he doesn't want to go anywhere near someone like Carl Froch.
Yeah, or back to Tommy Fury.
There's a reason why he isn't facing Tommy Fury. He's fighting granddads, which is just wrong. I do think he's getting better. There's no point in lying. I'd like to see him face JJ KSI. I think KSI has so much ability athletically as a specimen. If he's taught correctly, I think he'll be the best out of the Misfits bunch.
And from here, the debate only grew louder with more voices weighing in, this being framed Jake's weight as bullying, but in truth, it's the perfect leverage against Tank. Boxing has always been about styles and physical advantages, and Jake uses his frame like a true strategist. While Tank's power comes from speed, Jake's comes from mass, durability, and precision. Calling it bullying is lazy, it's tactical. Paul is exploiting the mismatch Tank foolishly agreed to, and if Davis walks into that ring, he'll realize very quickly that size isn't just a number, it's survival.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Bilu's words might sound dismissive, but buried inside is the truth. People will tune in, and that's because Jake Paul commands attention like no one else. Tank may hold belts, but he doesn't control headlines or audiences the way Jake does. Even critics who call it a freak show admit they can't look away. That magnetic pull is what makes Jake dangerous. He's not just fighting in the ring, he's winning the war outside it, forcing boxing to revolve around him.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if Tank has got a belt anymore. Well, I think he has. Yeah, he fought Lamont Roach for it. Yeah. It's insane. It's just insane. I mean, he's half his size.
He never fails to surprise us, does he, Jake Paul?
Fair play. Listen, he's a marketing genius, but when it comes to people that picking his fights, I can't get my head around it. Like, I don't know, like, what kind of freak show people are going to be seeing, but people are going to tune in.
Roach Sarr's words highlight a shift in boxing. Fighters can't just sit waiting for opportunities. The sport is moving toward those who generate noise and action. That's why Jake Paul is center stage. He isn't waiting for politics or promoters. He forces fights to happen, drags audiences into the conversation, and keeps momentum alive. Meanwhile, Tank looks hesitant, stuck in patterns of safe matchmaking. Jake represents progress, and whether old school fans like it or not, he's setting the rhythm for modern boxing.
You know, like, that's the fight we won, and I think that's the fight the fans want, you know, such after a great fight like that. Everybody's looking forward to the second bout, but unfortunately, things ain't lining up as planned, so we just can't sit around and wait. We gotta move forward and continue out.
And Spencer Oliver's reaction really underlined just how unusual this matchup feels. Oliver calls it odd, and he's right, it is. But odd doesn't mean unwinnable. Tank might be pound for pound elite, but he's stepping into a different battlefield against Jake. Height, reach, weight, every factor favors Paul. This isn't about traditional rankings. It's about spectacle, influence, and who can impose themselves. Jake thrives in that chaos. If anything, Tank choosing this fight exposes desperation, while Jake embraces the challenge like a businessman, and a fighter rolled into one. Strange or not, it's Jake who dictates terms.
I fancy my chances. I think Gervonta Davis actually beats him as well. He's one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world at lightweight. But it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's like you got a guy of 5'5" boxing a guy of 6 foot plus. Cruiserweight, yeah, it's just all a little bit odd. I thought if they're going to do an exhibition, perhaps Jake should have picked someone more his size.
Fury nailed it here. Boxing isn't just about belts, it's about impact. Tank might be slick in the ring, but Jake dominates everywhere else. Ticket sales, stadiums, headlines, controversy, fan engagement, that influence can't be ignored, because it translates into confidence and control when fight night arrives. The fact that Tyson Fury, a heavyweight champion, acknowledges Jake's pull proves this isn't some YouTuber sideshow. It's a genuine force shaking boxing's foundations. Tank may be better technically, but Jake is winning the bigger war.
Fantastic event. Anyone who don't think it's a fantastic event is jealous. Who's better, at Tank Davis or Jake Paul? So immediately, yeah, the normal layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy? Is he better at getting followed on Instagram? Is he better at putting more eyeballs on the boxing? Is he better than him at that? The answer would be no. But is he better at him in a fight? It has to be really, you have to break it down. You know what I mean?
So here we are, the fight that split the boxing world right down the middle. On one side, you've got Tank Davis, slick, compact, explosive, a pound-for-pound name who thrives on speed and precision. On the other, Jake Paul, bigger, stronger, hungrier, and carrying the weight of an entirely new generation of fans. This isn't just a fight, it's a collision of eras, of tradition versus disruption, of a star who's clinging to belts, versus one rewriting the sport's blueprint. If Tank wins, he protects the old order. But if Jake shocks the world, it changes everything. New opportunities, new rivalries, new eyes on boxing. The only question is, who truly wants it more? Are you backing Tank Davis, or is Jake Paul pulling the upset? Drop your thoughts below.